20 woke us up one more time. God can start us on our way. God can close us in our right mind. I hope and pray that all our limbs are working properly. I was just sitting around thinking about where we are in the United States and where we're going. $250 as independent country. And people want to take us back to the 15th, 16th, and the 1700s. Just imagine 2026. Remember when you didn't have no electricity? Remember when we didn't have no running water? Remember when you didn't have cars, didn't have buses, didn't have trains? Now we got over 8 billion people around the world. And those people always grew when there was no electricity, no running water, no cars. And those very people, they did all that without all this fancy stuff. And now that there's over 8 billion people in the world. Shouldn't that tell you something? We started out as one, Adam, and then came Eve. And everybody came from Adam and Eve. Now the earth has over 8 billion people in it. And a very small amount of people that's in the world, their hearts and their mind and their soul is just filled with hate. The most prosperous country in the world, and all you know is hate. All you know is to try to take a right from somebody else, not because they doing something to you. You do it just because you don't like the color of their skin, or you don't like who they love, or what language you speak, or what flag you fly. So on the way out, you're going to burn it all down. If you can show me some hate, more hateful than that, please show it to me. You got the best economy in the world. You're a very prosperous country. And because you're getting ready to be the minority, it finally dawned in your head that you are not the majority. It took you 500 years in North America, and you just now found it out in 2026 that you ain't no better than nobody else, and ain't nobody else no better than you? Isn't that kind of sad? Think about this, America. The Bible tells you that human beings is more precious than gold and silver. If you take the most precious metal there is, it can't even measure up to a human being. Because a human being is more precious than silver and gold. Now, these prejudiced white people and these multimillionaires and multi-billionaires, see, they going around building all these data centers and they using all the water. See, when a data center use water, the data center is so hot that it evaporates the water. So when the data center takes water from your reservoir, that water that the data center took, it ain't going back because it's going to evaporate into the air. So all the rivers and the lakes and all that, they keep these data centers cool and they keep on building more of them, it's going to use up all the water. It's going to contaminate the soil. It's going to destroy America. Think about this, America. Let's think about this. America basically invented the internet, right? And they did that with taxpayer money. The taxpayer is the one that hired the employees to come up with the World Wide Web, right? But then when they developed the World Wide Web, instead of it benefiting the taxpayer, the one that paid the people to invent it, they turned the World Wide Web over to the multi-millionaire and the multi-billionaires. You see, in Saudi Arabia and over in the Arab countries, everybody owned the oil. See, the oil revenue takes care of all the people that live in Saudi Arabia. Everybody get a check from oil revenue in Saudi Arabia. But in America, we give all the oil rights and all the mineral rights to the multi-millionaire and the multi-billionaire. The employee is got the gun on the employer. And the employee is telling the employer what to do, and the employee is living like king and queens, and the employer is begging for food stamps or Medicaid. That's backwards. All the mineral rights that's in the ground is owned by God. And Christ is over it all. Christ say, if you hungry, I'm supposed to feed you. If you thirsty, I'm supposed to give you something to drink. If you're a stranger, I'm supposed to take you in. I'm supposed to build you up and try to tear you down. I'm supposed to strengthen you instead of trying to make you weak. I'm supposed to help you build bridges, not help you tear them down. I'm supposed to support you in the sick room, not make it worse for you in the sick room. What is wrong with you, America? Is you that sick? Is that hate so strong in you Because you figure God made you inferior? What is it? What is it about you and black people? What makes you so mean? What makes you hate the people just because of the color of their skin? That's amazing, man. That's your weakness. That will always be your weakness. That would always be your downfall. If you weak, you can never be strong. No matter how poor black people is, black and brown people are still proud of who they are. And the crazy white people, you've been on the top of the hill for over 500 years, and you're the first one to put a gun to your head and pull the trigger. You weak. You physically weak. You mentally weak. And you sexually weak. That's why you always worry about a black man. Is he going to be with a white woman or not? It ain't your business who the woman want to be with. It's her choice who she want to be with. It ain't yours. We ain't asking for no more than what you asking for. I want my freedom to speak. I want my freedom of religion. I want the freedom to bear arms if I want to. I want the freedom to assemble. And I want the freedom to petition my government. That's all I want from you. I'm already worked over 43 years. I'm retired now. I'm not trying to speak these words, trying to achieve something. I'm just sitting back, looking back, and try to make it easy for some other young person that's going to have to work for 40 or 50 years or even longer. Because the retirement age is going to be increased by the time, probably be 75 by the time you get up to retirement. Capitalism is whoever is the strongest, whoever think they're the smartest. Take what you can take. Socialism is kind of in between. You hear all these no good, prejudiced people talking about socialism. What's wrong with socialism? We're not talking about like Saddam Hussein or Gaddafi or somebody like that. Socialism is an economic situation. Capitalism is an economic. Communism is an economic situation. Capitalism is only the strong survive. As long as you can take and you can sell for whatever you can sell it for, that's capitalism. Socialism is, look, there's only 165 million people that's working. So that leaves over 100 million people that's not working, and there is no job for them. There ain't no jobs. There ain't no job to employ another 130 or 40 million people. They can go to school all they want to. There ain't going to be no job for them. Because it's too many people for the amount of jobs. So what are we going to do with half of the population that's not going to be able to work? We're going to have to take care of them because we took all the resources that God gave, all the animals, all the fruits, and all the vegetables, and all the herbs. God gave that to every man, woman, and child for free. So they're entitled to eat. They're entitled to have a home. They're entitled to being buried. There's some things that are guaranteed. That's where socialism come in. Socialism is supposed to say this: everybody, as being a human being, need a place to stay. I don't care who you are or how lazy you are. Every human being in God's eyes deserve a place to stay. The Bible said God bring rain on the just and he bring rain on the unjust. God feed the just and God feed the unjust. So it's our duty as children of God that nobody should go hungry. No, nobody should go without shelter. Everybody needs lights and water and hot water to take a bath and everything. That's where socialism come in. Food, water, shelter, transportation. Everybody needs those things. But we're not doing that. Everybody in the Constitution is supposed to have equal rights. You got to feed every human being. Every human being that's thirsty deserves water, and God gave that water for free. God gave that food for free. God gave them trees and everything that you cut down and make houses. God gave you all that for free. Everybody is entitled to it. Anybody that say they're not, they just a liar. They a bald-faced lie. Don't tell me what God didn't say. God said he bring rain on the just and on the unjust. The Bible said, while we were yet in our sin, God sent his son down through 42 generations where he was beaten and talked about and spit on and beat all night long and hung on the cross. And then he went to hell for 3 days and 3 nights just so he can set the captives free. While we were still in our sin, he did that. We supposed to do the same thing. The only reason that we're not doing what we're supposed to do because we're weak. And we're scared of the devil. And when you accepted Christ, you're not supposed to be scared of the devil no more. You know that those prejudiced people is the minority. It's about 35% of the population. If we really believe in what we say we believe, we are the majority. And when we are the majority, we pick and choose who we want to do the things that we want, that do the things that we desire. The president works for us. We do not work for the president. The House of Representatives, they work for us. We don't work for them. The United States Supreme Court, we don't work for them. They work for us for a paycheck. Do your job. Do your job. Your job is to protect the Constitution. And when you protecting the Constitution, you protecting the people that's under the Constitution. That's why we sent you there, to protect our rights. But you ain't doing that. You picking and choosing because of color of people's skin, or who they love, or what language they speak, or what country they originally came from. That ain't godly. That ain't right. And that ain't justice. You have to make a choice. The Bible says he don't want you to straddle the fence. He don't want you to be lukewarm. God tell you, you got to either make the tree good and its fruit good, or make the tree corrupt and its fruit corrupt. You can't serve God and mammon. My brethren, a fountain cannot bring forth fresh water and salt water at the same time, my brethren. These things ought not to be so. If any man, woman, child that say they know God, the Bible says in 1 John, anybody that say they know God and don't keep God's commandment, God said you can call them right to their face. They a liar. And you can go further than that. You can tell them that the truth is not even in them. That's what life is all about. That's what faith is all about. If you got God and Christ in your heart and your mind and your soul, nothing can stand in your way. As long as Christ is with you, you cannot be stopped. When Christ is with you, you can use every tool in the toolbox. I do mean every tool. No one have the right to try to take away another human being's freedom. Nobody. Jesus is the judge. Jesus is the one that's going to sit up on the judgment seat. And you're going to have to give an account for everything that you've done. The Bible tells me I'm supposed to preach the gospel to you. To everyone that want to hear it. I might shine my light out there in darkness, and I hope and pray that you see and that you come running, asking, what must I do to be saved? And right then, I can preach the gospel to you, or the deacon can preach the gospel to you, or any pastor can preach the gospel to you. The only way that you can come to Christ, God has got to draw you. Thank you.